So Chris, welcome to FrightFest. The Moor is screening as we're talking. How are you feeling about that?
I feel better that I'm not in there right now. I like to keep busy. Like, I've seen the film 100 times, so the fact that I can be useful out here and not be sat there biting my fingernails to a nub, it's quite a good thing. No, I'm really excited. I'm going to pop back in on the last 9 minutes.
Yes, because this is a film, it's a great film throughout, but yeah, it's those last few minutes that really, I think, are where the big scares are. You know, was that something that you envisaged from the beginning, that you wanted to slowly build up to this big crescendo?
Well, it's two parts really. The writer, obviously created it, and he was really interested in that, let's hold out. But for me, it was actually when I saw in a treatment form, that ending kind of took me aback. And I was like, I don't know, man, like it's pretty out there. And I've heard somewhere, I think I've talked to you about this already, about if you're a little bit, if something is different enough to make you a bit like, oh, can I pull this off? Do it, jump into it. So I hope the ending never changed. The ending has always been the ending since the treatment. The slow burn thing has been a discussion throughout of let's hold out and trust that ending. So it's been like that, and obviously we took a lot of inspiration from 70s horrors that like to take their time a little bit more, which is a little bit braver now, I think, but I'm hoping people can trust us enough with the characters and the story to trust us to get to that end.
And for those that haven't been following The Moor, in a nutshell, what's the synopsis?
It's about a relationship between Claire and Bill. Claire was close to being a victim of a kidnapping 25 years ago, and that kidnapping was the first of many that became the Summer of Fear, and those children were never found. And then 25 years, the boy's father is asking for her help to find him all those years later. And it's all that survivor's guilt, that parental guilt of never being able to protect a child. All that just catapults them to going back onto this moor. And then that's when we kind of let out that horror where we start going, not everything's what it seems. This is not as grounded as you think it is. And as the characters descend into the horror, the film's tone starts to shift as well.
And we've spoken about this before, you know, you grew up in Yorkshire. The Moors have this big notoriety for various reasons. What is it about them that makes them so sinister, do you think?
Well, I think it's like you said, there is just a history to it. Like, even as kids, you didn't want to go up there because it can look a bit daunting. But when we did the research, this history goes back thousands of years of they used to make sacrifices up there. There's these standing stones that either you go, they're beautiful, or you go, that looks like something cultish. And we just combine all of those paranoias and horrors and history from 1,000 years ago to 60 years ago and put it in the blender and went, let's tell an original story. And that's kind of the genesis of it, really.
And hidden amongst this film, you have the most terrifying sheep I've seen in film. What is it about farm animals that manages to unsettle us, do you think?
Well, that could be personal to you. You might have had a farm experience. I didn't believe that they were creepy until I actually went out there myself. And it's when they stop acting like animals. So sheep have this really weird behavior where they're just chilling and walking around, and then they stop chewing and stare you down. And I like sheep, but they have dead-looking eyes. Like, we've all seen The Witch. You've got goat's eye. And they just stop and stare at you, and you go, why are you staring at us so long? And when something stares you down for so long, you start to get unnerved. So I think it's just that inherent idea of being watched and not moving is just quite scary. I don't know, what are the farm animals? The goat from The Witch. What else is scary? Pig from Babe in the City. I don't know.
I mean, that whole film's terrifying, right?
Yeah, that.
I guess my final question, The Moor's obviously premiering here today. I think you've got another couple of festivals lined up. You know, what's the future release pattern for The Moor? Where can people find it?
Well, I think we've got a few smaller ones. We can't announce anything beyond that. We're trying to be as northern as possible as well. So we've already had our world and UK premiere here, which we're very happy and proud of. But we also want to make sure that the areas that we grew up in get to see the film too. We're not just going to be like, how quickly can we go to Europe and America? So there's one in Sheffield, Spirit of Independence. There's one in Liverpool, Dead of Night. So we've got those coming up.
Well, I'm going to wish you best of luck with the after of the screening, and best of luck with the release.